Hi, everybody. Welcome to Women of Dance. I'm your host, Sharonne Vinokurov, and I'm really excited for today because we have a special episode. I am bringing on my very first male artist. Yes, I know it's called Women of Dance, and I've gotten messages from people saying, oh, bring on this guy, bring on that guy. And at first, I made a promise. I was like, nope, not doing it, only women. But then I got to thinking, after listening to some of the stories I've heard from my incredible artists, maybe I should make an exception. So I figured let's bring on one guy each season, a man that is worthy of being on a show called Women of Dance, a man who has proven himself to be a true friend and an ally to the women in our industry. So without further ado, let me bring on today's very special guest, the million moves man himself, Ismael Otero.
What's
Hello.
up? Hello.
What's up? How are you?
I'm chilling.
I'm so happy that you agreed to be on the show today. Thank you so much for doing this and putting yourself in the hot seat, if you will.
It's my pleasure.
So, I'm going to give a little backstory about this. You and I were actually at the World Salsa Summit, or I don't know what it was called at the time. It was the July, I call it the NBA bubble version, right? Because it was post COVID. So, it was a July event. And it was in the middle or like towards the end of my first season. And I came up to you and I was talking to you and I said, I realized that a lot of very powerful female artists have come out of your company. And I don't think it's a coincidence. And I thanked you for that. And I said, I'd love to talk to you. And it had nothing to do with the show. Like we were just talking. And I remember walking away and going, I should do an episode. Ismael should be on my show. I need to do an episode. So you are the catalyst really for this whole special thing. So I want to thank you again for inspiring me to do this. And are you getting emotional already? Because I might make you
Already.
cry. Already? Yes. I love it. So we're going to do a deep dive into you. I want everybody to get to know your background, how you started your company. We're going to talk about the women you've worked with, all of that. For those of you that are watching live, remember we're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. So if you have any questions for Ismael or myself, put them in the comments. I'll pull it up. We'll try to get to it as best as possible. So, Ismael, take us to the beginning. Let us know about baby Isma and how dance came into your life.
Oh my God. I was a late bloomer. I, I
Okay.
didn't I didn't even dance anything to like high school. Before that it was just break dancing.
Okay.
And even that, my sister knew how to break dance before me. My older sister Irene.
Yes.
So she showed me. And my mother will always try to make me to dance salsa, but I couldn't tell the difference between salsa and merengue or anything.
Really?
Yeah, it all sounded the same to me. Da 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 dun dun. But she kept trying, and then she would always play her music. Typical Puerto Rican household. After a while, I started kind of like feeling it. Like, wait a minute, I started to feel something.
Mm-hmm.
So when my mother would go to the store, I would put in her cassettes. That like back in the days, And then when she come home, I would take it off. And being a hip hop dancer back in those days, you don't take classes. You
Mm-hmm.
got it or you don't. You know, you would look down upon if even someone even showed you. So I was like, I'm just gonna look at salsa and get it, and I didn't get it. You know. So we had a family friend named Luis Segara, and my
Mm-hmm.
mother tells me, "Yo, he gives classes in New York. Go take classes with him." But I didn't like him. Like man, that guy bothers me. He's always picking on me. And again, I'm not gonna take a class. No, I got my pride. I'm a hip hop dancer. You know. And then a friend of mine, she was like, "Oh man, I'm dying to learn how to dance salsa." So to impress her, I was like, "My friend teaches." She goes, "Oh my god, I want to go, but you have to come with me." So that was the excuse to take a class.
Gotcha.
So I took classes with him, and he was very, very honest and brutal, which I thank for because he didn't sugarcoat anything. Next thing you know, I just kept at it, And when you dance, when you're a b-boy or hip hop dancer, um, it's about originality. You know.
Hmm.
So when I started taking salsa, everybody knew the same moves. You know. So then I said, let me try to change it up. So I was always with Luis Sagara, and then I took a few classes with Eddie Torres,
Okay.
and I asked him. I said, Eddie, you're the Mambo King. Who do you look up to? And he says, I like people that are creative. And in my head, I said, I'm creative in hip hop. Let me try to make something up. And I have my two sisters, and I said, I just need your arms. And I started messing around, and then I go to the other sister to see if I can lead it, and then I showed it to Nelson Flores, and he says, now go home and add more to it.
Mm.
And I went home, I added more to it. Then I go to like the clubs and the socials, and people were like, yo, who taught you that? And I said, I made it up. Next thing you know, people are asking me to show them my move like I was selling drugs. They're like, show me that move. Show me that move. And then next thing you know, I just kept making stuff up, and then opportunities opened up.
Hmm.
So I still keep making stuff up. So I haven't stopped, but basically that's how I got started.
So that's, I guess, how the Million Moves Man came into play,
Yeah,
because you
you know
just
what?
got creative.
Yeah, the Million Move Man came because the first one of the first, if not the first, salsa website was salsaweb.com, and there was a section where they would interview dancers, and at that time, if you was in that article, you were like world famous.
Hmm.
And the East Coast was Manny Severio, and the West Coast was Edie the Salsa Freak. And in Puerto Rico, one of my dancers, J.R. Salcero, um, danced with her. And she told him, you're a really good dancer. He goes, you got to dance with my teacher. So he brought me to her, and I asked her to dance. And while I'm dancing with her, she asked for a few more dances. I'm like, okay.
Mm.
I didn't know she was analyzing me. Next thing you know, like 2 weeks later, I have this article, by Edie the Salsa Freak. It says Ismael Otero, MMM. I thought she was saying but then it said the Million Moves Man. So then
Wow.
that stuck.
So you got your name from one of the female pioneers in this business.
Yes, one of the biggest influential females.
Wow. What was it like meeting Edie?
You know what? In the beginning, I kind of like, I don't want to say avoid, but a lot of people, when they saw that they had the article, they will always go up to Manny and Edie and kiss their ass because they wanted to be featured.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I'm not gonna kiss their ass. But Junior brought me to her, and I learned a lot from her. Because she was one of the first ones to kind of put together the dance and business together. She was one of the first,
Mm.
and she approached it in a different way. And then I found out that a promoter um, saw that she gave me that name, and she went to London. He went to London and gave Super Mario the same nickname, but not knowing that we're going to be in the same place together.
Ah.
So we were in the same place together, and they come in and apologize. I'm like, what are you apologizing for? I said, I don't get it. He said, oh, about the Million Moves Man. I said, oh, that's just a title. So I brought Grisel with me that time, and me and Super Mario started exchanging moves for
Oh,
like three
man, I
hours
wish I was there to see this.
in the lobby while the party's going on.
Oh.
Next thing you know, people are walking out of the party. We still showing each other stuff. And so I told them, I said, okay, well, you be the Million Moves Man of Europe, and I'll be the Million Moves Man of North America. And
Love it.
it worked. So we would meet up in the LA Congress, and me and Super Mario doing all these complicated moves. And Edie, one day she had enough. She scolded us like we were two kids. She was like, look, you guys keep holding both my hands and you're doing all this stuff. I don't have no time to style or feel the music.
Mhm.
And so then we would do very lucky moves. Then let the girl do her thing. Come back, let the girl do her thing. So she she got it. I didn't even think about that. So lucky, she told us, because now mostly everything I do is for the woman.
I love that. I feel like that's something that is missing a lot in the education part of when we're teaching the leads. They're so focused on getting through patterns that they forget.
Yeah, because you know what, patterns for guys is like, it's like a drug. We love turn patterns, you know. That, but when people learn them, they forget that you have to do them the right way. You got to connect, you know, all these things, and they forget that they're dancing with a woman. You know, they forget the culture part of it. You know.
Mhm. Absolutely. Well, we're gonna get right into your videos. We're gonna take it back as far as 2000. I went deep diving for this. Look at young Ismael.
Oh my God, that was in Italy.
Yep.
That's when I first took my sister there, and that's the first time I knew that my sister was the bomb. I was like, oh my gosh, she's following everything, and that was a freestyle.
I saw in the description, I
And
saw that this was a
yeah,
freestyle performance.
the funny part about it is like I was feeling bad. I was like sick.
I
I,
saw
I,
that as well in the description that you were not feeling well
yeah,
whatsoever, and
I
yet
could
fire.
not see. And then they asked, you know, what song do you want? I said, anything fast. And
Anything fast.
yeah, and the faster the better. I was just a speed demon back in those days, and the song just wouldn't end. I'm like, this song is forever. I'm thinking it's gonna end and it will start again even faster.
I love it. Sometimes we forget the length of some of the songs that we really love. There's some great ones, but they're like 9 minutes long and you're
Yeah,
dying.
and I would dance the whole thing.
I'm sure. How long were you and your sister dancing together?
Um, whew, years. I don't know exactly when, but that was like right there. It was like the beginning of her getting to a professional level. You know, and again, we had such a connection with the music, um, that you know the freestyles look like choreos. You know, me and both my sisters win many competitions with freestyles.
Wow.
You know, because again, we know the music.
Were your sisters your first dance partners?
Were they? I don't think. Well, dancing.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I
Ooh.
really don't remember.
Ladies, if you're watching and you remember, correct your brother, please, or remind How can
No,
you
no,
not
no, no,
remember?
because no, because my sister was very Yesenia, the one that's doing the dance with me now. She
Mhm.
was very young, so she wasn't the first.
What is your age difference?
I'm 51, and I think she's like 45 or something.
Okay, okay. Ava Apple, by the way, says, "Hey, hey, Smile."
Hey, Ava's from the old school too. You know.
Mhm. Absolutely. Thank you for watching us. So, yeah, I mean, I wanna ask about the relationship of a partnership between brother and sister.
Oh my God, it was a comedy show
Elaborate, please. What do you mean it was a comedy show?
because we were still brother and sister, and we would argue like brother and sister. And this sister right here, we were going to one of a million examples. We were going to compete in Sábado Gigante, and the night before, um, you know, we're packing, we get into a little argument. So I took her luggage and I took her clothes and I threw it across the living room floor. Big mistake. So you know, she's coming at me to kick my ass. So you know, you typical grab her hands, turn her around. She did some Jackie Chan move with her leg and popped me right in my eye.
Oh
And
my god.
I had a big black and blue in my eye. Like guys never hit me that hard, you know. And I was lucky that in Sábado Gigante they had a great makeup artist and he made it disappear.
Oh,
You know,
nice.
yeah,
Nothing like that TV quality makeup.
yeah. It
Sorry,
was the
we don't
first
have
time I
any
had
of that
makeup.
here. All right, well, let's go into Caribbean Soul. Let's talk about your company, how it came to be, how you came up with the name, how you found this army of I want it all the dirt.
They were my students, and then we just started hanging out at each other's houses. We started getting close, and then Luis Agata had a Mambo Showdown. So I asked, hey, let's put something together, you know. and we just started getting really good at it. And this choreo right here, it took me. I didn't have nothing for like 11 months, and they kept calling me. I said, I don't have a song. I don't have inspiration. And then Danny, dancing with my sister, excuse me, he's in the car and he plays the song, and I'm like, that's the song right there. He set me up. So this routine right here, it changed the game, because before that, nobody would do like back to back turn patterns like that. It was just turn pattern stop, turn pattern stop, and we did back to back turn patterns in a part where most people would do mambo shines footwork, and
Mm-hmm.
we did turn patterns there. And we would have tricks and lifts, which wasn't very common in the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Razzmatazz would do lifts and tricks, but most of them were just straight up salsa.
Yes.
But we were so full of energy. We wanted to be always in the air or doing something. So that's the part right there that everybody was like, my God, these people won't stop. Um, that routine. We also took a little piece from. We went to Curacao. We took their traditional dance and we put it in there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we also took a piece from a fight my sister had. Wait, my sister and Candy almost got into a fight with these people, and while they were arguing, they were going like this. So we put it in the choreo. So we will put our little personal experiences into the choreo, you
Oh
know.
my God.
And then Jamie and one of the girls in the back, Angie, um, they were still kind of beginner. So the team was a little bit worried that, they're like, we worked so hard to get to this level when we love them, but we think that maybe they should not perform. I said, no, I want 5 couples on that stage, and that's what I'm gonna get. And they rose to the occasion. Everybody rocked it, and again, most people don't know, but like I said, nobody danced that way before of doing those back to back turn patterns. And this team, most teams are like director and dancers. This team, everybody knew everybody. Guillermo was like the Afro Cuban guy. Danny was the turn patterns guy. And my sister Grisel, they were like the styling divas. Jamie was the one that could follow anything. So I was able to always split the team up and send them to different countries because everybody knew everybody. You know,
I love that.
huh?
I love that so much. When you decided to start the company, how did you go about looking for dancers? How did you figure out who you wanted? What were you looking for?
In the beginning, it just happened. They were just part of our crew, and we just teach them. But then, when we started getting a little bit more professional and sought after, I really didn't have auditions. I would just look for crazy people. Like if you had a personality,
Mhm.
I'm like, yo, that they kind of match us, and I will approach them.
Okay.
But I've never really had come to this audition and audition people. I would just be like, if you got the passion and the craziness, then you're in. You know,
Okay. What was your goal for the company when you started? Did you have a goal in mind or was it just I want to put material out there and
in the
let's see what
beginning,
happens?
we just wanted to show what we could create. That was basically our goal in the beginning. We wanted to show what we could, this look what we made up,
Mhm.
and then everything just came after that, you know.
Gotcha. Gotcha. You did mention that one of the ladies that we saw in that initial video was Grisel.
Yes.
I had a hard time finding a lot of videos of the two of you performing, just the two of you, but this was one of them.
Well, that's because like I said, I balance out the team where everybody looks good, and Guillermo, he was a really great performer, and him and Grisel complement each other. And in my choreo, whoever does it the best, they're in the front middle. So they did it the best. So I was like in second line with Natalia because height wise we look better. And again, um, it's about how we look as a whole. So Grisel and Guillermo, they were like amazing together so much that there was a competition in Connecticut, and they were the first people to ever beat me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And Guillermo did not want to compete against me. And I told him, I said, look, hey, if I lose, I'd rather lose to my people.
True.
So, when they won, everybody picked me up. And the audience was like, but I thought they won, But, they appreciate me.
Love that. Well, it's important for your dancers to appreciate you for sure. And I think one of the things is how you carry yourself and how you treat your dancers.
Mm-hmm.
That's a reflection of, I guess, how they look back to you. So the relationships you have with them.
Yes.
It's everything. It's everything. How many partners have you had? That sounds really wrong. I mean that in the most polite possible way. I just realized how wrong that actually sounded.
Well, in both cases, I can't remember.
I mean, because this is you dancing with Magna.
Yeah, Magna, that we put that choreo together like in 8 hours.
Every routine that I've talked to her about, she did in like 8 hours.
Yeah. She chose the
was
song.
My last guest.
Yeah. She showed the song and we're like, let's put this together. And, that's when Magna, you have to know her rhythm, That's why I tell everybody it's about rhythm. And in that choreo, when I do the multiple turns with her, I didn't know when to stop. She had to stop herself.
Nice.
But there was other moves that she wanted to do that I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, you have these like Rubik's Cube type movements that I can't move, But it's always fun. Like I watched that choreo, and there's some moves that I want to bring back. I just don't know how to do them anymore. I have to like relearn my own moves.
I mean, it's body muscle memory. It'll come back.
I hope so, because I'm like, how did I do that? But yeah. I just got back from Hawaii. And I was dancing socially with Magna.
I saw the video.
We're like two big kids when we get together.
Because you guys both just play so much. I've never seen anyone that plays as much as she does social dancing. So to see the two of you do a piece together, like, I'm curious, did anyone take like primary lead point on the choreography, or did everything just kind of come together with it? Because you're both so creative.
Well, yeah, it was basically 50-50. Even in some of the turn patterns, she would tell me, let's try this and try that, And she was very open to what I would say, and it just flowed. Everything just flowed. It's quick.
Have you worked with her more than just this one time?
We did that choreo, I think 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
That's basically it.
Look at you doing lifts.
That's actually before everybody did. That was a breakdance move we used to do along in the 80s.
Nice. Yes, it is definitely a trick that has been seen in many performances.
Mm-hmm.
Salsa, bachata, you name it. Here I got another one of you with this beautiful dancer right here, New York Congress, 2006. You can see how old these videos are, people, because the quality is so bad.
Yeah, who am I dancing with?
Isn't that Candy?
Oh my God, where'd you get that video?
Online. I'm good at finding videos, people. You have no idea.
Yeah, Candy was actually like the first girl that I was like, I am going to train you. Everyone else, it just happened. But we started getting to a level, and she had, she used to be a cheerleader, so she was strong, flexible, and I would train her in my living room while I'm taking a nap.
While you were taking a nap?
Yes, I would.
How
I would
does
make
training while sleeping happen? Explain this to me, please.
Yeah, and I'd be taking a nap, and I could feel her stop and look at me, and I would be like, keep going. And she would put in the work. And I remember one time we went to Wild Palms, and she danced with Nelson Flores, and she was okay. And she came back to me upset. She goes, you know what? I'm gonna get him. And I'm like, oh, okay. So in a like 3 months later, she danced with him again, and she followed everything. She was like, mission accomplished.
Nice.
So when Candy got to a certain level, I started asking her, I was like, Candy, now that you're starting to groove, what kind of like style you feel is evolving? And this is the first time I heard this. She goes, I want to work with my hands. I want to do hand styling. And I'm like, what the hell is hand styling? So, and that period of time, if you ever did like the long fingers, everybody would say, Candy, you know?
Oh, I love that. I love that. When I have her on the show, I'm gonna have to bring that up to her and be
Yeah.
like,
And like I
talk to
said,
me
she was a
about Candy.
cheerleader. Yeah. So she was a cheerleader. So we had a lot of tricks,
Okay.
and we would have tricks that we would practice. And we would like, our ankles would get hooked and we both fall on the floor. And one of the moves that everybody loved is like, there's a move where I do a turn and then she flips me. Because
Nice.
most people is the guy flipping the girl.
Oh, for sure.
And for me that's not impressive because if she's like tiny, she's easy to flip. But Candy I would be in the air for like 10 hours before I land.
Nice.
So yeah, we would practice a lot of crazy stuff. She would do a front flip, I would turn around, I would do a front flip. We was always in the air. And
Love it.
she was like, actually, I dare say, I hope he doesn't shoot me if I'm wrong, but she's the one that kind of like started that Yamule style.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
and then I saw her dancing with Jesus Aponte. It was so beautiful. Like I'm like, wow, like she made it. Yeah, she's up there. So she
You
was
say
known
that
for
with
her
so
style.
much pride. I love that. There's
Well,
so much joy in your voice right now where you're talking about that. That's so great.
listen, when your dancers dance with the best of the best of the best, all you can do is be proud.
I love that. I love that. And you've danced with some of the best of the best. I mean, you've had some incredible ladies. Shani was one
Yes,
of my guests. She was one of your partners. She was your partner for a while.
yeah. Well,
Most of your videos that I found online are of the two of you.
well, at the time we were together, so we spent a lot of time together. So we had the key to Soho Dance, so we would go there in the middle of the night. And Shani was a very very trained dancer. So she basically sent me a email that she's moving to New York and she wants to dance with me. And because after some of the girl Juliet from France and Dani from Israel, I was like, I'm not gonna train nobody anymore. Like I keep training people and they keep leaving, and it's like a cycle that's going too fast for me.
Mhm.
And then when Shani said that, she goes, is it okay that I dance with you? And I was like, hell, motherfucking yeah. But at that time, my enthusiasm in performing wasn't as good. I was kind of like dead on stage. I would just, do the choreo. So my excitement went down. So when Shani came, I had to be on point because she wasn't having it. Shani would she would yell at me. you know, and so I had to practice to get better. And
You had an Israeli soldier drilling you.
yeah, and in the beginning, people were like, like she's like, why Shani? She does it with Johnny Vasquez. They're gonna do that on one. Yeah. I said, she doesn't feel like that. I said, she's a great dancer. And she does it every style. She does it every style. So like she's gonna do perfectly fine. And normally what I do with everybody, I bring out their style.
Yes.
That one is a Cuban timba that I did it on two timing, and I did it to impress Shani.
You did it to impress Shani?
Yeah, because
Interesting.
Shani loved Cuban salsa. She's the one that got me feeling Cuban salsa. Before that, I didn't like Cuban salsa because I wasn't familiar with the rhythms. They didn't play it much everywhere I was. And she's the one that got me into it. I was like, oh, wait a minute, I'm feeling this. This sound, feels great. I feel different. So when I got this song, I tried to, put my turn patterns in a Cuban way, you know,
Mhm.
and she loved it. Thank God. It's one of our favorite choreos. You see Alex there and Sharonne. So Shani and Sharonne, they were both from is. Oh no, that's Jennifer.
I'm about to say I'm Sharonne.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not
No,
me.
Shani has another friend, Sharonne, that was also on the team.
Oh, okay. I
Um,
was like, I'm not on
yeah,
there. What are you talking about?
yeah. So Shani was friends with Jennifer, and she wanted Jennifer to perform. So that's when we asked Alex. So it turned out really really good. I got to and again I got to be very creative. Everybody I work with, they let me be creative. But this choreo, for some, people started thinking that she forced it on me, that she's making me all these. I said, no, you know me, I'm always trying new things. You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like all your routines have their own vibe. Nothing is like a copy of something else. Everything is always very original with you.
Yeah, because again, that's what I feel from them. You know.
You said something, and I want to touch back on it. You talked about helping them finding their style.
Well, most
Talk about that.
groups, when you join a group, you got to conform to how they dance. You know,
Yes.
I want to bring out what you have to offer. You know, and if you have something to offer, we could always come up with something different. As you saw in the videos, they all dance different because they're dancing how they dance and how they feel, which makes it look better and makes it feel better. So I always adjust to everybody, and I always do choreo where look at her. My mother always used to tell me that it's about the woman,
Mm-hmm.
so I believed her. The phrase, the guy's the frame, the woman's the picture.
Yep.
Yeah, everything. I take their strengths and I enhance it. And like I said, you can see the women are always comfortable, no matter what they do, because they're dancing like themselves. And that's basically one of my secrets.
Yes. Yes. How do you encourage your female dancers to help find their own style?
Well, one of the main things is I bombard them with all these different rhythms of Latin music.
Okay.
Once either they already know it or I have to show it to them. But once it clicks with their bodies and the way they move, again, they're very comfortable. And um, I tell them, how do you feel? You want to do it this way? You want to do it that way? And we just experiment with how their body moves.
Mm-hmm. Because every woman that's come out, like you were saying, they're all so different.
Yes.
They all
Because
have such different feels. All these incredible women that have come out of your company, all trained by you, all learned the same choreography, and yet none of them dance the same.
yeah.
They're
What?
all
Yeah.
so different.
Yes. Because again, I encourage them to be themselves. I don't want them to dance like me. I want them to dance like themselves. So once they find it, they basically run with it. And like I said, when they come to me with certain talents, I'm gonna use it. Like I said, Shani was a trained dancer already. And she was always like, "That's jazz." She was always jazzy. Yeah, like I'm nothing jazz, but I'm gonna use the skills that she already has to enhance my choreographies.
I love it. That's very smart as a director, as a choreographer to do that for your dancers because I know not every company works that way.
Well, like I said, some companies they want to keep their legacy going.
Mhm.
So they want that distinct style. And because when they started announcing Caribbean Soul, they will always say, I can't wait to see what they're gonna come up with next. So then now I have to be Mr. Creative.
Mhm.
And again, it's easy to do it when the people are comfortable. There's my sister again. And
Yep.
again, we put that together in 4 hours.
Jesus.
Yeah. Um and my sister, like I said, she developed that sexy street style. Um I just showed them really basic fundamentals. The rest is all of them, you know. So
Mhm.
I can't be like I trained them. I'm not gonna be like, all right, ladies, you're gonna do this. I don't do that. I just show them a basic fundamental rhythm that they naturally connect to. You know,
Mhm.
see, because they're putting their attitude into the way they dance. You know,
Absolutely.
when you put your personality and attitude, you know, because my sister, she has a big attitude, you know, that's why, you know, she's the way she is. And that quarter right there was in Germany, and I was in one country, she was in another. We met there and went straight to the stage and did it right there.
I love it. I gotta say, that's gotta be that sibling connection though, because
Well, yeah, like she was so light. I would start with 4 turns with her.
you would start with 4 turns with her?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're like, wow. Then my other sister Irene, unfortunately, there's not that many videos of her because that was before YouTube. She
Yes, I
was,
know, I looked.
yeah, her nickname was La Diabla. You know,
Seriously?
yeah, you know.
I
So I have Yesenia and my other sister, totally different. You know.
I love it. I love it. It's so great though. There's so few sibling duos out, and it's so fun to watch them when they do hit the stage. Because there's a connection that you can't fake, you can't. It's family.
Yes.
So there's just something really special about it. I used to love watching Chloe and Henry when they danced together back in the day. I
Yeah.
love watching Andres and Johnny when they do their shines together, you know, the brothers. Like it's just there's something really nice about that.
Yeah.
Did
People didn't know
you
that she was my sister.
They
We
didn't
had,
know?
no, because we have different last names, and she's darker than me.
Yes.
They
But
would ask me
you could be under a spotlight right now there, so
probably.
it's okay. I'm super pale. I'm allowed to make those types of jokes. I'm like Casper the Friendly Ghost. It's fine. Um, when you danced with your sisters, when you would travel with your sisters, did you feel a protective instinct or anything as their
No.
brother, or was it just kind of like
All right. Look, you gotta understand something. All the girls in Caribbean Soul could beat up guys, right? Irene, my older sister, she was training to fight, and you know we was young kids. We were fighting like a brawl, furniture broke basically. So yeah, like my all the girls, Grisel, Candy, my 2 sisters, and Jamie, that group right there, that right, all those girls, they will beat up dudes.
I love it. So you didn't need to protect anybody.
No, they protected me.
But I'm not just talking about like physically protecting. I'm talking about
Oh no, listen,
protecting from the toxicity of this industry.
all the guys, um, we will always watch our girls. We were jealous with our girls, you know. We
Mhm.
watched all the guys, and I seen, you know, like some guys would try to like, um, when the girls if they were drinking, they would like try to take it to the room. We're like, nope, not gonna happen, you know. But pretty much everybody was watching each other's back, you know.
As a family should.
Yes.
As a family should. So when all this is happening and you have this fabulous team with all of these incredible talents, like you said, some people were coming and going. As a director, when you have spent time building up these artists or these dancers, and then they tell you it's time for them to leave, how do you handle it as a director? Do you Are you encouraging? Do you stay in touch afterwards? What is your process and what do you go through when that happens?
Well, it depends on how they leave, you know. Like most people know how to get in a group, they don't know how to get out of it, you know. If they're just honest, then you know we root for you. But if you do it in a bad way, then there's a little bit animosity. But then after time, you know, we get over it, you know. In the beginning, I was just like every other instructor, you know, territorial and you know, how dare you, you know. But if you really think about it, I'm like, I started thinking, I'm like, you know what, like I'm teaching people to be themselves, find themselves, and express themselves, and and then I'm gonna hold them back, you know.
Mhm.
You know, and I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna hold them back. And then a lot of them, I said, after a while, people got comfortable telling me, yo, you know, I want to, you know, do my own thing. So then I will help them. And then now it gets to a point where they still come around and I still help them. when they asked for my help, Alex and Desiree, they still use my studio. They just walk in there whenever they want, and they were when they were doing choreography, they would call me for help, right? And the help was this: just be there. That was the
Just be
help.
there.
Just be there. I didn't have to show them anything. I'm prepared to like guide. I would just show up, and all of a sudden, oh, there goes Candy again.
Yeah.
But you see, that's her. That's her attitude.
No, absolutely. She's the same. She's fierce as always.
Yeah, see the hands?
I do. I saw the candy. I saw it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like when Candy left or Shani or whoever, like how did you support?
Oh, I didn't support Candy and Shani. We left in bad terms.
Oh, I did not mean. I'm sorry, did not realize. Okay, well, if you would like to elaborate,
Well, yeah, no, like I said, it happens. Like there's no courses, or unless you have a good mentor to kind of guide you. At that time, we don't know what we're doing. We just know either you don't feel appreciated, or you just want to move up. Other opportunities come along, and when they come along, we have disagreements. Because if you're the one leaving, and all these opportunities are coming, and then your director is going against it, you kind of feel like he's holding you back. You don't know better until you become the director, and it happens to you. And it happened. The same way it happened to me, it happened to Candy. It happens to everybody. But again,
oh, there's your flip.
It's okay to get mad. It's just not okay to stay mad.
Yes.
Like I said, most people don't understand what it's like to be a director. And once in those days, the whole team, we argued all the time, but there's still rehearsals next rehearsal.
Yeah.
Now absolutely. You have one argument, and like I'm going to another team.
Loyalty. It's something that seems to be missing these days.
Yeah, loyalty back in the days was like ride or die. And again, even like I said, me and Shani, we were together, and we would have an argument. We're not talking to each other, but we still went to the gigs. We still did our workshop. We still did what we have to do. It's just in the hotel room. She's on her side. I'm on my side. We're not giving each other, whatever. But once we go teach and perform, it's a show. We have to be professional.
But even with you said that it didn't necessarily end on the best terms, but even with that, I remember when Shani was on my show, she said that you were super supportive of what she had moving forward. You like recommended Sekou.
Oh yeah, that was before she left.
It was all very encouraging from what I've heard.
Again, like I said, with Shani, I wanted everybody to see what she had to offer. And sometimes I couldn't be a part of that. Like I said, I can't be jazzy for some, I never took classes like that. Sekou did, and Sekou is a really good friend of mine. So I said, Sekou, do something with Shani, and they killed it. You know,
they did. There was a really well-fused partnership. That was a very good idea.
Yeah. So if I'm with you, I want to bring you up as much as possible. It's just because we were together, and our personal problems merged with the dancing. That's basically why it was in bad terms. It was more our personal life
than it was a professional thing.
Yeah, but like I want to see everybody grow.
But I mean, when Desiree and like Melanie, they went off, and I see you still, like you said, Alex and Desiree come in, use your studio all the time. You guys have a great relationship. You just posted a video you did with Alex in Hawaii.
Yes.
With your little matching shirts.
Well, see, Desiree was dancing with Griselle at the time, and I saw Alex did a cha-cha-cha with Desiree, and they killed it. And I told Alex, yo, Alex, you should dance with Desiree. Like, she's so well trained, and in your street, you guys kind of like compliment each other. And so he goes, ask her for me. So I just took a chance. I thought she was gonna say, no, I'm dancing with Griselle. But at that time, Griselle was doing a million things. That's Griselle, all over the place.
Super
She has to
busy.
do so many gigs and projects. So I asked, Desiree. She said, "Yeah." Whoa. So we were doing our first we were doing our first bachata choreo, and we asked Desiree to learn it, and she learned it quick. She did it great, and then we had another gig, and then we had another gig, and then Desiree asked Alex, um, "Am I in Caribbean Soul?" Because I never formally had asked her. So then I said I formally asked her to be on the team, and we were doing all these great shows, and then they asked me, "Ismael, we want to do a salsa show," and I said, "Look, if we do salsa, I'm not playing." I
Hmm.
said, "I want to finish the choreo in 1 week," you know. So at that time, like people dance today, like there's these like new mannerisms that people bring. So
Hmm.
everybody was very like rah, aggressive. Oh yeah, that that choreo right there is when I
Hmm.
told Alex we need to step it up. So the fugue is very intricate.
Yeah. Oh, I love this routine. I love all of your bachata routines. We competed against you guys once
Yes.
in New York. That was fun.
This
Heart
choreo right
Emotion
here,
versus
Alex
Caribbean
makes
Soul.
fun of me. Alex makes fun of me because it's one of the most complicated ones. It is the one I never forget. Because it's no secret. I forget all my choreos.
You beat me to my next question.
Yeah, I could cover up all my mistakes. I became a pro at that.
That's funny. How do you save it when you forget the choreo on stage for those that are watching and are like, "What happens if I forget my choreography?"
Either I do another time. I just don't stop. I make it seem like that's how it's supposed to be. You know, some of them are too obvious, and I'll just make a joke out of it.
And you have the personality for that too. You can always play that off very well,
Yeah,
for sure.
but I try not to mess up, but um I got into a big fight. I got a scar here, so I forget a lot.
Stop
So
fighting people.
so basically, I choreograph to the music so that I don't forget the moves.
That's smart.
Hmm.
That is very smart. This was Alex's choreo or
Uh,
yours?
both.
Both.
Yeah. I would put my moves in there. He would put his moves in there. Um,
I think you guys were the first for the girls to be wearing the bodysuits too,
yeah.
if I'm not
We,
mistaken.
we were the first in many things. I always try to be the first. But when I put Alex as director as bachata, um, you know um, people they all thought that Alex did all the bachata.
Hmm.
And I told one of the promoters, I said, no, I do the bachata too. They said, but he goes, well, you made everybody seem like it's all Alex. You know, I said, no, we complement each other, very well.
This
And
this whole group complemented each other very well. Period.
yeah, because I would put Alex with Melanie to just freestyle, and Alex is Dominican, Melanie's half Dominican, so they would dance like in their house,
Hmm.
and I said, okay, we're taking that, and then I would put Alex and Desert together to get that performance thing,
Hmm.
and me and Alex would put our choreos, and everything would just come together. That's the one that Desiree said
I want
we're
to do
gonna do.
salsa.
Yeah. So remember I was saying that everybody's very aggressive and rah rah. I said we're gonna do a happy one.
And
You
I
know?
loved it. I
Yeah.
loved this routine. Like
That was a very
so
hard routine.
much.
I'm like, I'm not gonna do this shit. That's too hard. And I made them work hard. I was always making them work hard. And people if you're on my team, they know if you complain about something, that's what we're gonna do. If you say I don't wear red, we're all wearing red. So I told them one time we gotta speed up the song. And I sped the song up too fast. It sounded like chipmunks.
Oh
But they
no.
still try to do the choreo. Because they know if they would have complained, I would have kept it at that speed.
Yep. I love that. That's hilarious. But yeah, this was definitely a whole different vibe when we saw it. I wish I could play the music, but unfortunately, with the way the YouTube is set up, and I'd rather hear you talk anyway. If
Yeah.
anybody wants to find these routines, by the way, that I've been showing, feel free to go to YouTube. You can search Ismael Otero. You can search Caribbean Soul. These videos will come up. I promise you. Watch them. Play the tracks. It's just all very lovely, to be honest. But yeah, and then Jose was a part of your team at this time too.
Oh my God, poor Jose. I put Jose through hell. He would do all the choreo from the semi-pro to the pro. He performed every night, and after they would perform, I'm in the audience, and they would finish, and everybody would turn around and be like, "Great show, great show." I'm like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." So he would do all the work for me.
That's that director life.
Yeah. This part coming up, that's
Hmm.
I love that part because Desiree was just singing the music, and I said, "We're doing that in the choreo."
That's something that I always see in her performances. She always feels like she's living in the moment.
Yeah, and and she's something else. I call her rhythm in a woman's body.
Rhythm in a woman's body. I like that.
Yeah, because she could do anything, and she makes it look great, and she feels. I could feel her rhythm. She's only she's Alex partner because she's too tall for me.
That's the
If
only reason why, because
if
she's
she
too
was
tall.
shorter or I was taller, I would have took her.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, she amazing, amazing, amazing. Like
She
her
really
rhythm
is.
is just on another level. And Melanie is very like she has these little subtle things that are so powerful.
Hmm.
Little faces, little motions, and it's so powerful and it's so effortless.
They're both so super talented. And again, talk about completely different dancers.
Completely different.
And you make it look so seamless. Like, yes, they're both showing their own style, but the routine was perfectly in sync. Everything is matching, and yet different, but
Yeah,
magic.
because as long as you keep the flow, you could do a little something and it won't mess up the flow. When
Hmm.
people want to show their personality, sometimes they do it too much that it doesn't look good. You keep that flow, then you can do little things that won't take away from the choreo.
Absolutely. But yeah, Mel and Desiree were both on the show, and I admire them both so much. Like you said, Desiree can literally dance anything, anything.
Hmm.
And Melanie, I mean, her shines blow me away.
She will always go to the studio and was always making up choreos. And I will open the gate, come in. She's putting in that work, putting in that work.
How much do you love that as a director when you walk into the studio and see your students or dancers just putting in the work without you knowing about it? What
Oh,
does
it's
that
the
make you feel
best.
like?
It's the best because I know they're passionate about it.
Where do you see Caribbean Soul going moving forward? Dramatic pause.
Yeah, is that like I said, especially here in New Jersey, the mentality is just everybody's everywhere, all over the place, and I feel like people are now a little bit too nice, too politically correct, that they just want you happy, and they just like you can do a bad show and they're like, oh my God, that was amazing.
Yeah, no. If it was a bad show, don't tell me I did amazing. I don't wanna
Yeah,
hear it.
yeah, and I did a little live last week about that. Say, if I do a bad show, don't clap for me. You know, because
Mhm.
it happened to me before where I thought I was killing it until one day I did it, and I'm talking about obvious bad show. Everything went wrong, and people were like, "You were amazing." I'm like, "Which part? The part where
Yeah.
we let go, the part where we bump heads? Which part? I'm amazing. I'm
Mhm.
amazing. I'm messing up. And that's when I realized that the people say that because they like me. You know.
Mhm.
Um. So then I had a few people that will always tell me the truth. Nelson Flores, David Melendez, Gordon Neal, Sekou, Frankie Martinez. I had Tomas Guerrero. All these people were always honest with me. So then I would look for them to be sure.
Yes. It's so important to have people that you can really rely on that will not filter, like, just tell you like it is,
In this
especially in
program, we
this
have
business.
Jennifer Rosado.
Mhm.
She is so shy and humble, but she is a powerhouse. Like the people that know Jennifer, she's up there with my sister Grisel, Candy, all. She just, like I said, she's very very shy, but she would just give you a quick look, and you it felt like an energy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
She was and such a beautiful dancer, And then we have Jenna. Jenna was new, but she was so passionate, and she was bringing the noise. Like I said, all these girls. What I have to tell everybody, like I said, they already had the personality. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I just showed them to put it in their dance. When most people put their style in their dance,
Mm-hmm.
But if you put your style in the dance, oh my God, this is my semi-pro team.
Yes. Well, we are talking about where we think the future of Caribbean Soul will be, and students are a big part of that. Semi-pro teams. I came to your studio the other day, and you were working with a ladies team.
Yes.
And the funny thing was, I came in and I said, "Just be your normal self," and you were like, "No, I'm being nice because you're here." And I said, "Don't do that. I want to see real director Ismael at work."
It's the problem I'm having with most people is that I have the people that are very dedicated. They take a lot of private, so their level gets higher, and then you have the people that basically the opposite. So then
Mhm.
these people get mad. Say, "Yo, I'm trying to perform already, do good, do great, but I can't because of these people." And mainly, it's either they don't have confidence in themselves, or they just don't practice
Mm.
simple things. I'm
Yep.
like, I'm not asking you to do like a Susie Q and wrap your leg around your neck or something like that. I just want you to practice the basics, where you start and finish a choreo comfortable, not
Yes.
second guessing. Am I gonna get that double turn? I just want the basics, because the choreo is gonna carry itself, but if you do it comfortable, you'll be able to spice it up because you are comfortable. And when you're comfortable, it shows. You know.
Yes.
So that's the problem I'm having. And believe it or not, I've asked a lot of girls to join my team, and they won't join my team because they think it's too hard.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not really the go-to person in New Jersey. Everybody, they'll skip over me and rather go to New York. Um,
People,
yeah.
educate yourselves. If
Listen,
am I mistaken? Are we coming up on 25 years of Caribbean Soul?
I started. The group was officially formed in 1997.
So then, yeah, because we performed at your 18 anniversary party, and that was 7 years ago.
Well, I'm
So
not
you
good with
got to
math.
be. That's this is your 25-year anniversary, my friend. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's a long time.
It's a really long time. You've made quite an impact on our industry over that course of time. I did find this really special little video here that I have to put up. It might be my personal favorite partnership of yours. Want to give everybody explanation about what the heck is happening in this video that they're about to see?
Listen, what people need to realize that before Caribbean Soul,
Uh-huh.
dances were very serious.
Yeah.
Now, again, we're going to each other's houses, playing jokes on each other, acting like little kids. To a point, I remember in our rehearsals, um, the girls had to tell the guys, "Hey, come on, we're rehearsing," but we're
Mhm.
fooling around so much. We're like a bunch of kids. So the girls on our team had to always set us straight. So me and John Jay, Guillermo, and Danny, it's gonna be a comedy show, you know,
Mhm.
and you have to have tough skin as well. So sometimes my non dancer friends would see Danny, Jay, and Guillermo like make fun of me, and I wouldn't say nothing. And they're like, "Yo, why don't you go snap back at them?" I said, "I'm just gonna give them fuel." I said the best
Yeah.
thing to do is just don't say nothing, because they're gonna keep on and on and on. And then
Absolutely.
now we're going to congresses, we're traveling, and we're meeting other crazy people. We met Alice Espinosa, Juan Matos, a bunch of lunatics, and you're gonna put us together. So then David Melendez, one time I saw him talking to Alice Espinosa, and they were like, we do a lot of jokes and funny things in the lobby.
Mm-hmm.
And David Melendez tells Alice Espinosa, then they call me over, and they were like, I want you to do that on stage. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, the funny stuff. I go, but I don't understand how. He goes, I'm gonna put a song on, and you guys do something funny to it. I'm like, all right, I don't know how it's gonna work, but okay. So we did a little cha-cha, like theatrical thing in Canada. And then David figured out the formula. Let me get all the fun people and invite them to my event. And that's then next we have Troy and Georgette, Lee Rios, all the crazy people. He would put them together and unleash them to the Congress.
I love it.
And everybody loved it,
So funny.
Yeah. Then I'm in San Francisco and I'm sleeping, and they're like, "Yo, we're gonna teach you our choreo," and they was teaching us this choreo, and we were all doing each other's choreography. I remember Ronnie Donoro was there from LA, Joe Quinones, and we were doing each other's choreos. And next thing you know, everybody started hiring me to do the comedy. And I'm like, hey, I still perform too. Yeah, but can you do the funny stuff? Like they flew me to Japan just to do the comedy.
I can't.
And these tricks all happened by luck. Like a lot of people don't realize that it's luck. A lot of all these things that happen, because Jay knows, I don't like certain moves because I'm always the one that's gonna get beat up and hurt. So I tell Jay, don't rub on me. I don't like that. We're two dudes, and he would do it because he knows I would get mad, and I would get mad, but then get back into character.
That's too funny. You guys have a hilarious relationship. It really is just the funniest thing ever. The last video that I'm going to show before we wrap it up, I hope this maybe brings a tear to your eye. Let's talk about Ismael the Papa.
Oh my God.
You have a daughter who is now in this industry and crushing it, might I add. What do you feel as a father you can teach her about this industry, and what would you like to see improved in this industry for the benefit of your daughter and other female artists?
You know what? My daughter, she always had it in her. I didn't know she was that good, or else I would have done better in the video, but she always had a natural talent. She would be like as a toddler, I'd be driving and I could hear her in the background, singing. So I would put instrumental music, and she would sing like it wasn't like actual words, but it will go with the music. So I made the mistake of trying to force my brother to dance with us, two brothers, two sisters. So I pushed them away. So I'm not gonna do it with my daughter. I'm gonna guide her, but hopefully she'll get into it. So she danced with my sister's kids program. And then she was around, she's around my sister, both my sisters. She's around Candy, she's around Grisel, she's around Shani. So she had all these divas around her, and Jamie, so she had a little piece of everybody in her already. And then she stopped, and then one day she goes, Daddy, I think I'm ready. I want to be professional. And Melanie Castillo was rehearsing for the summit. I said, Melanie's right there. Go talk to her. And I'm looking through the window, and they talk. They start doing the choreo. Next thing you know, Melanie says, you competed with me. And they competed and won. So she was always, like I said, very talented in my class, where she didn't like to dance with the old, yucky old men, so she would go to the office. And after my Shines class, she would come out in front of everybody and be like, Daddy, if I'm going to watch it twice, if I do it, you got to give me $20. And that's all right. And she would get all the choreo.
Good for her. Smart kid.
Yeah, she made a lot of money. And And then she kind of like, that's when Allison Desiree left, Jose Luis and Melanie left, so I didn't have a pro team, and my daughter passed everybody up, so now she's kind of stuck, you know. So then me and her danced together, but she didn't like it. She fired me. She's like, Daddy, it's not anything to do with your dancing. I just like not dancing with you, you know.
Yeah.
She didn't want the director and the daddy in the same thing, you know. She wanted,
Fair.
yeah. So now I'm like a little bit worried
Hustle and
because
hustle.
yeah, she learned that right there. She learned it right there. Look at her arms, you know.
I love it.
Right? I didn't teach her that. And so then she we're driving in the car. I'm like, damn, like I'm worried because she just got to this level. She's naturally talented, but she still needs to train. And then we were both like kind of like joking around to post on Facebook, what team should I put my daughter? But I said, I'm not gonna post that. And I said, but if we was to put her in a team, she said she liked Huracan and she liked Iroko. She was a big fan of Denise ever since she first saw her. So Huracan was all the way in Queens, and Iroko was right here in Manhattan, which was like 20 minutes away from us. So I hit up Ernesto on Facebook, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna put my daughter on your team. And I'm pretty sure he found it unusual. I have my team, and I'm asking to be on that team.
Yeah.
And he's like, yes, no problem. Tell her to be at the studio Tuesday. And I say, Diana, Tuesday you have your first rehearsal with Iroko. She was so scared and nervous,
Aww.
And she went and she did good. And she goes there, and I went to pick her up, and there was like 50 people there. Like, my God, I saw people from my generation auditioning. And next thing you know, like they giving Diana extra attention. They're like, work on pointing your toes and work on your tricks. That's all you need, And they kept pushing and pushing. I'm like, that's a little strange. It's like really great dancers here, but they kept pushing Diana. And then when COVID hit, they moved to Tampa.
Yep.
And they bought a house, and they asked their dancers, you guys want to come down and train? So like 6 of them went down there, Diana being one of them, because Diana has family in Florida, so she always wanted to move to Florida. Okay. Now she's in Tampa, and they're training, and she's getting better. And then their debut was in New York at Sapphire, and I was the MC. So I'm like, I'm not gonna say nothing till after the show. So they come out, and I'm like, Iroko performance team, whatever. And after she killed it, I'm like, that's my daughter. That's my daughter right there. She rocked it. And
Proud
now,
Papa.
Yeah. And so now they go back to Tampa, and she's supposed to come back, and she didn't come back. She stayed there.
Yep.
So then she has a car here. So I said, Mama, fly over here and we'll drive to Tampa together. And that's what we did. And at the summit, they drove there. And Friday, they competed. They qualified, but they didn't do so great. And I went backstage, and oh my God, the look in my daughter's eyes, and she says, I could have done better. My heart broke. And she goes, and Nestor said we'd have to have extra practices. I was like, you know what, Diana? I want you to want extra practices. I want you to eat that up. I want you, you know what? I'm gonna practice hard, and I want to, because she will always say, yo, and Nestor's just like you, And I filmed it, and when I showed Ernesto the video, and I saw he's about to be Mr. Director, I walked away. I'm like, I don't want to see him, telling my daughter off, And the next day they're competing. I looked at Diana. I say, we eating it, and they killed it, and they won again.
Yep. You were so proud.
I always cry. Like
you were crying. It was so cute.
So then that's it. She's a Floridian now, and the reason I like it is because she has her family. Remember back in the days, your team was your family.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not like that no more. And I remember one time, one of her friends, another team, asked come join this team.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, I said, Diana, what does it say on your shirt? She goes, Iroko. I said, that's your family.
Yep.
I said, what you guys have is rare. It's not like that anymore. And I've seen them together. They truly are really, really great friends, you know? And next thing you know, like in less than 2 years, Diana's skill just skyrockets. I'm like, I said, Ernesto and Denise, I go, what did you do to Diana? Like, you know, you did a spider bite her? You know, you put her in a like the Incredible
Phenomenal.
Hulk. And I
She's
asked,
grown so much.
yeah, I asked Denise. I go, Denise, why why did you pick Diana? You know, out of all those people, she goes, she has that old school flavor, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and also when Ernesto is, you know, is being, you know, directors are very assertive.
Yes.
A lot of people these days they like babies, you know, they either cry or they get offended. She said that Diana takes whatever Ernesto says and applies it. She doesn't get offended. She doesn't cry. She just listens. And like I said, um, I consider myself very lucky that Ernesto and Denise are in her life. I dare say that they're her second parents because he doesn't just they don't just train her with the dance, they help her with life. She, you know, she's young,
Yeah.
and my she's taking college courses, which she's almost done for business, and Denise hired her to do the business, right?
Wow.
And Nessa's gonna show her how to buy a house, and you know, like they're doing parental stuff, and they're like I said, I've been so lucky because I was prepared to go to war if anything goes wrong with anybody. You know how the scene is,
Of
you know,
course. Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
getting back to that question, I warned Vienna. I said, Vienna, when you go to these parties and everybody's in the room, I said, don't tell nobody about your personal life.
Nope.
Don't say nothing. I said, and whatever happens, just make sure you're in control. All right. And you know, it's been good so far. And she's always surrounded by her Iroko family that she don't really have to worry about it, you know. But like I said, the girls already know how to take care of themselves, you know. So again, I can't put all the credit on me. They already know. And
Gotcha.
we were known, the whole team was always known for kicking people's asses back in the days, you know.
Don't fuck
And
with us. Love it.
it was mainly the girls. It's mainly the girls, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna go to Tampa Saturday because both my sisters live there. My daughter lives there, and my sister's father lives there. So I'm gonna go get to see her, hopefully, because I have to. Like I said, she's very busy. Those people,
They
they're
be
very
training.
busy. So if I get to see them for 10 minutes, I'm happy, you know. And I talk to her all the time on FaceTime. So yeah, she's the latest one that has taken off, and it's because she's surrounded by the right people. Thank God, you know.
Love it. I love it. Normally, at the end of the show, I wrap it up with the same question for all my women, which is, if you could give one piece of advice to women who want to be in this business, what would it be? But for you, I want to give you a different final question. My question to you is, what advice could you give the men in our industry to make them better allies to their women counterparts, be it their partners or their dancers, like their students on the company?
Mainly have common sense. Um, it's not just about you. They are the prize, you know. Like they're there to bring you up, and realize that you're where you are because of them. You know, it's a partnership, so it should be a partnership. And the thing is, like I said, I could understand why guys do that because you know this industry is unforgiving. You know, one day everybody loves you, then the next day they walk past you. You know, so everybody is more like, let me get as much as I can, where I keep people away. But if there's a mutual respect and understanding, it's less bumping heads. You know,
Mhm.
but again, it goes back to the girls on my team already have that attitude. They demanded that, you know. And my sister Yesenia saw that there was a flyer and it only had my name.
Mhm.
she reached out to the person in London, and the person, oh, there's no room for the woman's name. And then she's like, well, you know what? If you was a woman, you would understand. And the reply was, I am a woman. That's the face we did. And so when after that, if I see a flyer and it doesn't have the woman's name, I get scared. Please put them name, please. Cause Shani was like, oh, you dancing by yourself? Jamie was like, oh, you dancing by all the girls. Oh, you by yourself dancing,
Mm-hmm.
But they just gotta understand that without them, there's no us, you know. And as long as you're confident in what you have, you'll be fine. And again, you gotta have common courtesy towards women, like the way you treat them in everyday life. Every woman around me, from my mother, sisters, girlfriends, friends, acquaintances, daughter, all that, have always been powerful women. All of them. So I can't really relate when I hear those stories. I
Mm-hmm.
can't relate to that because they all demanded respect. They all can be on their own. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's any guys that are gonna work with them, you're gonna see that they're gonna demand their respect. But just don't feel threatened by the women. Enhance the woman, and they'll stay with you forever. Every woman that I had as a partner helped me out in one way. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, Shani did a lot of the business. And she helped me stop making big mistakes. You know, everybody, one way or another, helped me to get to where I'm at. And they always say I'm being too humble, but that's how I truly feel. Everybody helped me somehow, and I appreciate it. And again, I didn't have to be taught that. I didn't. Nobody had to tell me.
Yeah.
She's a woman. Like for us, like she's a woman. Like listen, I'm not the type of guy that puts women on pedestals. I'm not those type of dudes. I'm an alpha
Mm-hmm.
male. But she's a woman. Like duh.
Exactly. Common sense, you'd think.
Yeah.
You'd think. Isma, thank you so much for giving your time, for sitting down and talking with me, for being so supportive of all of us women, for helping to create these fabulous talents, many of whom I've had on the show, some of whom I hope will still come on. Yes, Grisel, Candy, I'm talking to you. Uh, answer your messages. No,
Oh, that Grisel is running for Puerto Rican president. She's the president of the parade, so she's all over the place.
yeah, I know she's impossible to get a hold of, but one day, I hope she will be able.
Don't give up. She
I
res-
won't.
she
I
responds to
won't.
my messages 3 days later, sometimes a week.
I won't. I am putting it into the universe that she will free up and be able to be on the show. You are holding auditions. You're looking
I,
for new
I I'm looking
dancers.
I'm looking for people that want to work hard and make and inspire people, not be inspired. I want
Sure.
people just to work hard, bring my choreographies to life, and take raise the bar. You know, because I'm sorry, like I said, everybody hates me here because I'm always talking about how New Jersey levels down, and I need people that I want to either raise the bar or bring out their best. But they have to
Yes.
work hard. That's all I need. People, if you work hard, I can make anybody great.
Love it. Love it. So if you guys want to get in touch with Ismael, find out about how you can join Caribbean Soul or work with him, you can follow him on Facebook at Ismael Otero. You can follow him on Instagram at Ismael CSD. And the website is Caribbean Soul Dancers.net. Yes, I don't
Yes,
think I missed anything there. Again, thank you so much. We'll be back in May, guys, with some really exciting episodes to finish out the season. And stay on the lookout because I'm going to be doing a little something with Ismael that we're going to hopefully be able to get started on soon. I'm really excited. Can't wait to work with you. Thank you so much again for everything. You have been so amazing today and just always, especially to me, you've always shown me lots of kindness. So thank you so much.
my pleasure as usual.
Thank you. Guys, tune in next week. We'll be back. Stay tuned for who my next guest will be. This is Sharonne Vinokurov, Women of Dance. See you all next time. Bye.
Peace.